What's going on, y'all? It's the Cool Teacher back to show you how to turn this slope-intercept function into a standard form function. My last video, I showed you how to turn a standard form function into a slope-intercept form function, and I actually turned it into this. So if you need to see that, I'll link that above, but I'm gonna turn this back into standard form. Remember, slope-intercept and standard form, I like to focus on my y's and my x's. In slope-intercept form, the x and the y are on opposite sides. If you're wondering what I mean by sides, the equal sign is what separates the sides of an equation. So if I look, the y is on the left side of the equation, the x is on the right side. So I have to go ahead and get them on the same side because in standard form, you have ax plus by equals c. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these on the same side. So you're probably wondering how I do that. Remember, it's an equation, so I have to solve it as such. I need to get this negative 3/5 x over to this side. So since it's a negative 3/5, got to do the opposite, which is positive 3/5. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. All right, now with me doing that, these are going to cancel out. I'm going to bring down my positive 3/5 x, bring down my y, which is also positive because nothing is in front of it. So put a plus sign, bring down my equal sign, and I'm gonna bring down my negative 2/5. And for my OCD people, I'm gonna put this back together in the end, all right? So I'm closer to standard form, okay? ax plus by equals c, but not necessarily. You're probably like, wait, x and y on the same side, it equals something, standard form, I'm done. There are two specific rules for a standard form function. A has to be greater than 0. And if I look, this is where A is technically. Is this greater than 0? 3/5 greater than 0? It is. But the second rule is it has to be integers. A, B, and C have to be integers. Technically, B is already an integer because there's an imaginary 1 here, but A is a fraction, C is a fraction. Integers are just whole numbers. So basically, I have to turn these into whole numbers. Easy enough. Let's go ahead and get them turned into whole numbers. You're probably like, well, how am I going to do that? Anytime you have a denominator for a fraction, you can multiply it by that denominator as a whole number, and it'll get rid of it. I have to multiply everything here by 5. Because when I do that, it's basically going to leave me with the numerators. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Multiply this by 5, going to multiply that by 5. Also going to multiply that by 5. So 5 times 3/5 is going to give me a 3 and just the x. 5 times y is going to give me a positive 5y. And then, bring down my equal sign, my bad. And then 5 times negative 2 over 5 will just give me a negative 2. And this is my answer. And if you watched my previous video, you saw this is what I started with. Now, for those of you who are wondering like, wait, how is multiplying this? How am I just getting rid of the 5? Here's my trusty calculator right here, and I'm gonna show you, all right? I have 5, and I'm gonna multiply it by 3 over 5. When I do that, you can see I'm left with my 3. Even over here, I had my 5, and I'm multiplying by a negative 2/5. So 5 times 2 over 5 negative, and I'm left with a negative 2. Okay? What I just showed you is the easy way to do it, just to kind of cancel out the 5s. The more you do it, the better you'll get, the easier it'll get, and you realize, oh, denominator of this number, let me just go ahead and multiply it by whatever that denominator is as a whole number, and I'm good. All right? If this helped you, send it to somebody else so you can help them. Other than that, this is the Cool Teacher, and I'm out.